Hi guys, this is Miss Jen, and assisting me is Lily today. We are going to lead you through a Mini 2 ballet class. Also, if you're in Mini 1, feel free to take this class as well. Similar styles and techniques that we're working towards. To get started, I would recommend that if you want to do a little extra cardio to get your body moving. Lily and I have been dancing a little bit today, so we are going to kind of jump straight into some stretches, but if you need to get those joints a little warmer before you do, please feel free to pause and then join back up with us. But we're gonna start with some stretching at the bar. So Lily's gonna face the bar in first position to start with. She's gonna lengthen those arms up, 2, 3, 4, going over to a flat back, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you do not have a bar at home and you're working with a chair, right here in this position, just kind of adjust yourself however you need. Your goal is to try to get your spine as flat as you can from your tailbone to your head, lengthening through that spine. From here, we are going to contract, so rounding the spine, 1, 2, flatten it back out, 3, 4, rounds it, 5, 6, and flatten it back out, 7, 8. From there, she's going to let go of the bar, releasing towards the floor, down, 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to hang here for 5, 6, 7, 8. She's going to plie, 1, 2, up, 3, 4, plie, 5, 6, and 7. Stop right here for just a second. So if you would note, as she's here, her head is all the way released, so completely releasing through the spine. So essentially she's looking between her legs, not necessarily looking at the floor, but looking between her legs towards the back of the room. From there, we're going to take a plie and roll up through the spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to repeat that. We're going to do it once in first position and once in second position, okay? So once with those feet together and once with those feet apart. Just warming up the spine and a little bit of the hamstrings. Here we go. 5, all the way, 5, 6, 7, 8, arms up, 2, 3, 4, and over, 6, 7, 8, and round, 2, flatten, 3, 4, and round, 6, 7, 8, release, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, now plie and plie. Drop that head down, 3, 4, and plie, 6, lengthen, 7, 8, plie, roll up, 2, 1 vertebrae at a time, 4, 5, 6, 7, feet apart, and up, 2, 3, 4, flatten, 5, 6, 7, 8, round that spine, 2, and flatten it, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, release it down, 2, 3, 4, release that head, 6, 7, 8, knees over your toes, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, rolling up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so again, if you need a little bit more, you could repeat that a couple times to get your body really moving. We're going to jump straight into some lunges and some splits before we stand up and do some bar work today. So we're going to step forward with our right leg into our lunge. And I'm actually going to have Lily turn to the side so that she can demonstrate this for you. We really want to make sure a couple things are happening here. So at home, as you're doing this, make sure that that knee is directly over top of that ankle. You're creating a 90-degree angle with your right leg. That your head is the top of a diagonal that goes all the way to that back heel. All right, really lengthening through, really feeling that left hip flexor. So the front of your hip is opening up. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and drop that left leg down, letting that knee release, increasing the stretch that's happening in your hip flexor. And we're gonna hold that there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So really quickly, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into our splits because we want to make sure we have plenty of time to get you all the way through bar, center, and across the floor. But you could also take a moment and pause and go through pigeon or any of those things that we've done in class. Lily's going to go ahead and slide it down into that right split. Really making sure that everything is nice and square. We're not going to hold it too long. Like I said, just making sure everything is really nice and stretched before we start really moving. And we're going to hold it for 5, 4, point through those toes, 3, lengthen behind those knees, 2, and 1. Let's shake it out. Let's take the other side. So we're going to go into our left lunge. All right, left leg is going to go forward, right leg is going to be back. Again, making sure that that knee is directly over top of that ankle, that everything is really square to the side. okay? Head is the highest point, heel is the lowest point, really lengthening behind the knee on that right leg. Holding here for a couple breaths. And again, go ahead and drop that knee down. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, if you need to take a moment and pass and stop and pause and take some pigeon or gradually work your way down into the split, that is fine. Please do so so that you are ready to go and move with us. All right, Lily's gonna go ahead and slide it down into that left split, really lengthening behind the leg, squaring those hips off. We're gonna hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let's shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, friends, so we are going to make our way up to standing and spend some time at the bar. All right, we are going to just kind of break down the exercise. These are all things that you should have seen at some point in class with us. And so we're gonna talk through a little bit, making sure you're hearing those details that you would hear if you were here and present with us. And then we are gonna do it with music, and we hope that you'll join us on all of those things. So the first thing we're gonna do is our plie exercise. And Lily's gonna demonstrate it right now as we're talking through things. We're gonna talk about some of our alignment things we talked about in class. We're going to demonstrate it to the side. We are going to, as we have been doing in class, use our port de bras on today, okay? So we're going to do plies in first, in second, and in fifth, all right? And what we've been doing in class, we have been doing demi-grand in first and second, and in fifth, we are just going to do those demi-plies and then work on our releve, all right? So here we go, just kind of talking through it. We are going to start left side at the bar, like we do in class every time, and we're going to work that right arm. So we have 5, 6, port de bras, 7, and 8. We're going to maintain that shape, demi, and lengthen, and demi. Make sure those hips stay nice and underneath your rib cage. We're going to take our grand plie, down, and 2, and up, 2, and then we're stepping out into that second position. And again, we'll take a demi, and lengthen, and demi, and lengthen, grand plie, and up. And we're going to stretch towards the bar here, keeping our hips in place. Make sure it's more about your torso and upper body. Really lengthen, really stretch, and lengthening back up. A little reach in towards the bar as we lengthen through the spine and torso to stretch over. Again, as you do that, so Lily's going to demonstrate that really quickly to the front. Please make sure that your hips are not shifting out of place. All right, this stretch is more about your torso and upper body and that lengthening that's happening through that, so make sure we're not adjusting our hips. We're going to keep our hips really grounded all the way through the feet, and as we move up and as we move to the side, we are still maintaining our hip alignment through all of that. All right, from there, we're going to close it into our fifth position. From here, we are going to work just our demi-plies. Pelvis really important here. Remember, we've talked about, you really have to think about that left hip or that back hip pushing forward. You don't want to twist into the side and let your hips get way behind you. Those hips should be right underneath your shoulders and under your ribs. So we're going to take a demi-plie and lengthen, and demi-plie and lengthen, and we're going to press demi and all the way up to that sutnu. Yeah, susu way up high in that fifth position, and we're going to balance there, okay? From there, Lily's going to actually switch sides, and we will start and do the opposite side. So she's going to switch sides of the bar, but you are more than welcome to just do our déjeuner and rotate to the other side like we've done in class. All right, so here we go. We're going to try that with music, our little plie exercise. Let me make sure we're connected to our speaker.
Battery 90%. Connected to Jennifer Hinshaw's iPhone.
Here we go. Too low in here. a couple things, especially that we've talked about. When we are doing grand plie in second position, we are going to keep those heels on the ground, okay? So we grand plie, those heels are gonna stay planted. The other thing that's gonna happen is that we don't wanna let our tailbone go too far back, and it's not like a squat. We're not going there, okay? We're gonna go as low as we can while keeping everything in line. Really engaging those inner thighs and pressing that rotation. So pushing our heels forward and working our turnout from our hips, all right? So let's try the whole exercise on the opposite side. Nice breath. 7 and 8. Demi-plie. And lengthen. And plie. Lengthen. And back over to the other side. We're going to do our tendus and our dégagés, okay? So again, making sure that we're working that right side first, left hand's going to be at the bar. A couple things. Don't forget that in class we have talked many, many times about that the bar is like your partner. We don't want to give our partner too much weight because our partner needs to look good too. He needs to be able to hold himself up, or she, and you also need to be. They're there for a little light support, not a grip like this, okay? All right, so make sure we're doing that at home as we're working with a chair, or maybe you have a bar at home, all right? But just a nice light touch, all right? We are going to work from first position. We are going to take tendu to the front, 2 and 3. 4, really push that heel forward, 6, 7, 8, and a tendu, 2, 3, 4, and a dégagé, dégagé, demi-plie, okay? So hopefully remember the difference between a tendu and a dégagé. Miss Lily, can you tell us what the difference is between a tendu and a dégagé?
Tendu stays on the floor, dégagé comes off just a little.
Right, we're gonna detach, but is a dégagé like as big as a battement? No, so it is gonna barely lift off the ground, just a little detach, a little disconnect from the floor, okay? But you are still passing through your tendu on the way to that dégagé, okay? So, as Lily just demonstrated, we did that to the front. We are also gonna take that to the side. Same thing, really making sure that we are pressing our foot to where our toe points, not trying to go straight to our side. So we've talked about it in class, if we had a little smiley face on the inside of our ankle, smiley face would be forward, not your shoelaces, not the top of your shoe, okay? The inside of your leg is what's coming to the front. So we are gonna repeat that exact same exercise to the side. We are then going to take it straight behind us. Make sure when we go to the back that we are not going to the back 45, but that we are really lifting up through our torso and pulling our pelvis underneath so it goes straight behind us with a straight leg, no bending of the knee. All right, so the only time we're gonna have a bend of the knee is when we take that little demi-plie, all right? From there, after we take it one more time to the side, 2 and 3 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, we go 1, 2 and 3, 4, and a dégagé, dégagé, demi-plie. We are going to take a releve and try to balance in coupe, okay? Which is gonna be right there at our ankle, yeah? Remember how we've been starting to work on our pirouette, so we are really going to try to work on those balances while we can utilize the bar, all right? So Miss Lily's gonna go through this on both sides. Here we go. And 5, 7, 8 to the front, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, and a 6, demi-plie to the side, 2 and 3, 5, 6, 7, and tendu, tendu, dégagé, dégagé, demi-plie to the back, 2 and 3, not be our strongest side, that we really have to think about engaging everything in our upper body so that our lower body has room to move, okay? We don't want to sink our weight down and then we have to end up bending our knee a little bit. All right, even a slight bend of the knee is not what we're looking for when we do tendus and dégagés, okay? Straight legs, all the way lengthened behind that knee. Here we go, left side, right hand at the bar. 5, 6, 7, and 8 to the front. 2, 3, and 4. 5, 7, 8, and 1. 2, 3, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and a 5, and a 6. Demi-plie to the back. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and a 6, 7, and 8, and side. 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and a 6, 7, and 8. Take that balance. Again, you can play with it here. You can stay on both feet or transfer the weight onto that inner leg and take that outer leg to that coupe shape. Again, make sure those hips are staying nice and level here. Fight for that last second. And let's go ahead and finish that side out. Nice. Good. 7 and 8 to the front. 2 and side. 2, carry back. 2 and close. 2 to the front. Side, back, close and front. Side, back, close, plie. And 5, 6, 7, reverse it back. 2, side, 2, front, 2, and close again. 2 in the back. Side, front, and close, and back. Side, front, close. Take that plie and lengthen and find your balance. Again, your choice to play with it here. Both feet. You can take that coupe if you still need to work that a little more. Passe, or even take the challenge of balancing in that arabesque. Wherever you are, make sure if you're in that releve that that weight is on that front inside edge of your foot, not letting it roll out to those pinky toes. And let's finish it out and take it over to the other side. Here we go. As we work this rond de jambe again, we are going to take it front, 2, side, 2, back, 2, and close, and front and side and back and close, front and side and back and close, plie, 3, and then we'll reverse. Here we go, all the way through. 5, 6, 7 to the front, 2 and side, 2, carry back, 2 and close again, and front and side and back and close and front, side, back and close and plie, and 5, 6, reverse to the back, 2, take your time, 3, 4, really present that heel, 6, 7, 8, and back, side, front, and close, and back, side, front, and close, and plie, and up. Find that balance. Carry that leg up to that passe. Drop that hip. Or take it out to that arabesque. Square those shoulders. Really, again, make sure that weight is forward on the inside edge of your foot, wherever you're balancing. It can be both feet, or if you're doing the passe, or if you're taking the arabesque. And let's finish it out. And we're going to take away the bar right now, and we are going to transition to doing some things at center, okay? So just like we've been doing in class, we're going to work on some sautés just to warm up our feet. We're going to do a little bit of some pirouette action, and then we are going to take it across the floor. All right, so as Lily's going to demonstrate, we're going to do those jumps in first, in second, and then changement. So switching from right fifth to left fifth. We are going to do 8 in each, okay? Now a couple things she's going to demonstrate if she goes to the side, so face that wall. Yeah, whichever position, whether we're doing first, second, or fifth, it's going to be really important that you are keeping your pelvis underneath your rib cage. So as you're looking at Lily right here, we have a stack. Her head is over top of her shoulders, or over top of her ribs, or over top of her hips, or over top of her knees, or over top of her ankles, which are over top of her heels. So that skeletal alignment is in the proper position. Even when we go to bend our knees, we don't want to let that skeletal arch happen. We want to make sure our pelvis is staying on underneath us. A good thing to do while you're at home, we've done it a couple times in class, is that you could try these up against the wall so that you make sure you're not bumping yourself off, right? That alignment should stay in place. All right, here we go. We're going to try going through all those positions. One final thing, really, and this happens more so in fifth, we've talked about it before, but make sure those heels are getting down in the back, all right? We all have a tendency to let the hips go too far back, and we don't have enough space in our pelvis to keep those legs underneath us, okay? So we really have to make sure that we're not pushing the hips back, and we give the legs full amount of space to use their full range of motion. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, and second. 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and a right, and left. 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice, shake it out. We're gonna do it one more time. So that was the first option. You can do it without the arms if you really wanna focus on your port de bras today. The other thing that we've definitely been starting to utilize is that port de bras in class. So we're gonna do first position, arms are in first, as we move through the second, they're in second position, and then as we work the changement in fifth, our arms are in fifth, okay? So Lily did a nice job, and everything looked really controlled on the upper body, and we really wanna make sure that's happening. The other thing is, remember that demi-plie is not just a small bend of your knee, but it's as low as you can go without those heels popping off the floor. All right, so we want to make sure you're getting a nice deep plie, because that's going to allow us to get really high up into the air. And the final thing, as she does this to the front this time, you can see that her feet are really pushing all the way through her toes. Yeah, so we are really using the feet to be the last thing to push us off the floor, which makes our feet do what in the air? Point, all right, which is definitely what we want to see in those leaps and jumps and turns in our ballet techniques. So here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and second. 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and a switch. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and stop. Nice job. Shake it out. All right, our next thing we're going to work on, and we've been doing a little bit of this in class and really started to work on it this second half after we got back from our winter break, is working on pirouettes, all right? So we're going to do some balancing, and then we're going to work on some singles. If you get to a point where you are still having a hard time, like really today maybe your equilibrium's a little off and you're not feeling good balance, then maybe just keep working on strengthening those ankles and legs to hold the balance with the leg and passe, and then start to work towards the rotation. All right, so we're going to go to our preparation, which is a nice fourth position. We're going to hold that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to press up. Now we can press up a couple different ways. Up to a flat foot passe and hold it. So we press up. 5, 6, 7, come back down. 8, again hold. 2, 3, 4, up. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now notice that as Lily's doing it the second time around, she is trying to go up to releve. Again, you got to kind of work with where you are today. It might mean that you could do it all in releve the whole time, or it might mean that you need to slow it down and do more reps of it with the foot flat. All right, one big thing is she's going up to that passe, just go flat foot passe right now, is that we really want to make sure that we have a nice straight line through our hips. All right, so just because you're lifting the leg, make sure you're not lifting the hip. When we go to lift our leg up, whether it's in a passe or a battement or anything like that, the lift is coming from underneath. So if it comes from underneath, it's going to help us not lift our hip. If we use our quad, usually our hip gets too much engagement. We want to make sure our hamstring and our glute are the muscles that we're utilizing to lift. All right, so we're going to take this exercise. We have hold, 2, 3, 4, and flat foot, 6, 7, 8, and hold, 2, 3, 4, try releve, 6, 7, 8, again, hold, 2, 3, 4, releve, 6, 7, 8, on the fourth one, 2, 3, 4, try a turn, 6, 7, and 8, okay? And then for our purposes, we are gonna finish that to that front 45. all right, and lengthening through that lunge, all right? So let's try it. Make sure when you're setting up that prep, you're setting up a nice forward position, not too wide. You should be able to put equal weight on both feet and really be able to keep those hips nice and square, just like we do when we do our splits, okay? Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, and flat foot. 6, nice high passes, no hips up. 2, 3, 4, releve. 6, 7, 8, again. 1, 2, 3, 4, releve. 6, drop that hip, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and rotate. 6, 7, and 8. Nice. So at home, feel free to pause, rewind, try that as many times as you need to. We're gonna go on to the left side. All right, so same thing. First one is a flat foot, second one is a releve, third one is a releve, fourth one we're trying to work on that single pirouette. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, rounded arms, 4, and up. 6, drop those hips, and 1, 2, 3, 4, releve. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and single. 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, if you are doing more rotations and you're really trying to work for those turns, make sure while you're at home you have a great spot. Okay, so working towards utilizing this spot. All right, next thing up, we are gonna take some across the floors. All right, so we're just gonna head over to the corner. At home, please feel free to use a hallway. Maybe you can move your coffee table out of the way. Maybe you have some space in your basement. Please be safe as you're trying to cross the floors. You might not be able to do as many as we can do while we're in the studio. That's totally understandable. Our Mini 2 class has a lot of people in it, so we know sometimes we don't always have as much space. So you might have to make things a little smaller, and maybe when it gets a little warmer, we can try some things in some other places and really utilize taking up a lot of space, all right? So the first thing that we are going to work on today is we are gonna work on our tombe, pas de bourrée, glissade, pas de chat, okay? So, as Lily is going to demonstrate that, yep. All right, we are gonna take those arms out to second as we do our tombe, pas de bourrée, okay? So we are stepping, remember, tombe, you're falling, yeah, and then you have pas de bourrée, so there's 3 steps, side, back side, front, and then we take a little glissade, right? We're brushing the back leg, crossing the second leg in front into 5th position. Yeah, so we're gonna cross. It's not a super big leap. It's a little tiny one, like there's a little puddle that you're trying to get over. And then we are gonna take our pas de chat, step of the cat, all right? So imagine that you were witnessing, remember we talked about in class, like when a cat gets their feet wet, they pull them up and retract them. So the same kind of idea and quality of movement, but we are gonna be really turned down, unlike a cat, okay? So we're gonna watch Lily demonstrate that again. She has tombe, pas de bourrée. 1, 2, 3, 4, brush 5, and 6, up and 8, okay? So we're gonna try that coming down the left. She, again, will probably do it 2 times through on the left, or going to the right, or from the left to the right, and then we will do it going from the opposite side, working her left side 2 times as well, all right? Here we go, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, brush 5, and 6, up 7, and 8, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, brush 5, and 6, up 7, and 8. And we are going to wait as she rotates to the other side. A couple things as she's rotating to the other side. So really make sure that as you're doing that pas de chat, that you are really turning it out. Essentially, we are passing through both of those turned out passe positions, okay? When we do the glissade, both legs are straight, all right? So you're not actually using that bend of the knee until we come back into the plie. Here we go, left side. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, brush 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, brush 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Nice, all right? The next thing that we are gonna work on are our chasse, saute, arabesque, saute, arabesque. Okay, so we're doing alternating chasses. We are gonna start with our downstage leg, all right? So we're just gonna start with her left, yeah? And we're gonna chasse, then saute arabesque, all right? One thing that we are working with in the port-a-bras can definitely change, okay? From person to person, from choreographer to choreographer. So what we are looking for in this exercise specifically today is we're gonna go in opposition. So if my left leg is in front, my right arm is in front. As I transition sides, my arms are coming back through first to switch to the other side, okay? Same thing as I go into that saute arabesque. and sauté arabesque, okay? And please remember that sauté arabesque, separating those words out, sauté means to jump, yes? So we are jumping in our arabesque shape, all right? Make sure on those chassés we're really getting those feet nice and tight and pulling those legs all the way together with straight legs. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and on 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, hopefully at home you have some space to really be able to practice that. As you can see, it can really travel you, so you might need a little bit larger space for these. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yes. Now, if you are working on this more and more at home, and as you've done it more and you have more practice with it, please try to work towards that little bit of a front pulse with your leg as you do the sauté arabesque. So not just going right underneath you, but you're trying to let that leg go slightly ahead of you. Yeah, slight little pulse, still straight leg, foot is pointed. Watch Lily demonstrate, ready? And slight little pulse. Yes, nice. All right, next up, we are going to do our chaîné turns, okay? Now remember, for our purposes, we are starting to work on really hitting those nice first position shapes with our feet as well as with our arms, all right? We are gonna take a turn, and then we are gonna take a little pause. Prepare again, and take another turn. So let's watch Lily demonstrate it. 2, 3, and 4. Prepare. 6, 7, and 8. Turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Prepare. Okay? So a great place would be to practice this maybe at the end across from a door, so that you could use the doorknob to spot, or if you have something at the end of a hallway like a picture or something that is perfectly at your eye level, to really work on spotting. As you start to get more practice with it, if you want to start connecting and doing 2 turns per each 8 count, that's fine too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Okay? So we're gonna watch Lily starting from the corner. We're gonna do both sides. Here we go. Try it with us at home. And 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try 7, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and hold. And we're gonna go over to our left side, trying the same thing. So again, maybe that last time around, you are adding 2 chaînés instead of just 1. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice. All right, our last thing across the floor, we're gonna work on some leaps, okay? We are gonna do a chassé, take a little petit jeté, and then a grand jeté. Again, this is something that you might have to make all petite today, based on what you have at home to work with in terms of space. We do not want you to hit a counter, hit a door, hit a chair, hit anything at your house. Try to avoid the furniture, all right? So if you do not have space, be careful with these. Again, Lily's gonna take a chassé, step, step, brush, step, step, brush. So remember, a little different than maybe you're working on in your jazz class is this is not a developed leap, it is a brush. So you're starting it just like you would do those bottoms, okay, with a straight leg. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1, and 2, 3, 4, up 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice. We're gonna try the other side. And 5, 6, 7, 8, chassé 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that one more time. We're gonna make sure we don't develop that second leg, okay? So left leg is going to brush both times for those grand jetés. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, that is going to be it for today, other than we need you to switch over to the band app. We just have put up some choreography for our Mini 2 recital piece. There's also some choreography up if you're a Mini 1 taking our class today on the band app. So please go and take some time, spend about 15 to 20 minutes rehearsing any new choreography, rehearsing any old choreography, so that when we are back together, we are ready to continue building those pieces. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.